Hey, Kevin, how are you tonight?
Good. How you doing, Matt?
You know what? I can't complain right now. Well, I can complain, but maybe not right at the moment. So, thank you. So I heard when you accepted to come on that you were coming home from work or you were driving, correct?
Yeah, I'm just driving from running a few errands.
Oh, okay, cool, cool. So I'll get right down to it. How have you been during this pandemic?
Uh, Going a little stir crazy. I'll be totally honest. I'm trying to find so many things to do, but it's almost like every day is Groundhog Day. So, like, do I want to keep doing the same thing I'm doing? What's something different I'm doing? I mean, as you saw on Facebook, I shaved my head last night because I just couldn't take it anymore. So I was like, I got to try something new. And I mean, you saw, I don't know if you saw my last haircut.
Yeah, well,
And
I did.
the 90s rapper look. And I was like, no, I want to keep going. I want to do something different again. That will shock me and everyone I know. So, so I was like, screw it, I'm going to shave my head. And, I'm enjoying it, being a bald man now.
Yeah.
And,
Have you been bald
but
before?
not since like before high school. I had a crew cut. That was the shortest, but this is like probably the most bald I've been. And it ain't that bad. I'll tell you that much.
Well, it's good.
But I've been trying to be creative. Doing the Zoom readings help, and writing a lot of music as much as I can. But you get writer's block every now and then through all this at the same time, and watching Netflix and every streaming service imaginable. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I miss hanging out with friends and human interaction.
Yeah, but I would say you were probably one of the first people or artists I would say that when I went on Facebook, you were being creative and you kind of helped me find some sort of platform I can do my art with. When I saw you, you were in your bathroom and you're doing karaoke nights in your bathroom, and I
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate that, man.
yeah, I thought, well, you know what, he's having fun in the way that you weren't expect to have fun during a pandemic. So I think, so I appreciate that. I can go online, I can see someone that I know, and they're trying to make the best of a situation that is, you can probably say no one really wants right now.
Yeah, I mean, hey, everybody's live streaming now. It's keeping people happy and entertained, and I thought about it on a whim to do a karaoke thing, Corona karaoke, and it went over well. I haven't done it in a couple weeks just because of, I don't know, it's laziness or just trying to figure out what I could do differently. But I mean, if it helps you, that's phenomenal, and I'm glad. And I hope that live streaming can help others kind of get their, word out on Facebook about how they're feeling and what they're going through. We're all in this together, and we got to stick together as friends and as a community to get through this. And, whether it be calling people, 3 people a day to see how they're doing, or just, doing Zoom calls like we do, and do readings of fun things. Like I'm doing this thing every Saturday night called Zooming the Movies, which you'll be doing on Saturday.
Yes, I will.
And we do different movies, and read the scripts and get a cast together. And it's like, cool. You can't do that on stage.
No.
So it's cool to be able to get to do something like that on a platform where you can all see each other and interact with each other. I think it's great, and I love doing this, and there's so many possibilities, and people are doing plays and everything in between, and I think that's how we're all entertaining each other and sticking together through this craziness.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the craziness, so the governor had a press conference today, or a big announcement, and he didn't really say yes or no he's going to extend the shutdown. Let's be honest, it kind of looks like it's going to get extended, with the mayor probably proposing that it could possibly go into June. At this point, are you more sad or more angry during this pandemic that we still don't know when we're going to go back to this new normal?
It's frustrating. It's very frustrating, but it's also on so many levels, because you don't know who's out there still not listening to anybody and doing whatever the hell they want, which makes this lag even longer. And I'm in a Blues Brothers tribute band, and we were supposed to have 60 shows this summer, and we really can't do anything right now. And I mean, we had an email come in today asking if on one of the dates in June that we can go into an empty theater and perform and do a live stream, but as a band, we can't even get together. Two of the members have been sick. They don't know if they had the virus or not. You can't be around each other, and it's just so frustrating. And me being married or having somebody, like a companion or a roommate or something like that. There's only so much you can handle of them. There's 6 or 7 months, honestly. I mean, as much as you love them or appreciate them, there's only so much you could take, and with nobody else around, it could get a little aggravating. I mean, that's why I said I've gone stir crazy, because I miss being with my friends. I mean, now I go and check up on my parents and see how they're doing, or my grandparents, and get groceries and kind of whatever kind of amenities there are. But it's just, I want this to be over, and as I'm sure you and a lot of other people do too. And it's just, I feel like we're in the movie Groundhog Day. And we're Bill Murray.
This is the worst kind of Groundhog Day, though. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is a way worse Groundhog Day. Yeah. This is like Armageddon Groundhog Day, where we never know what's going to happen.
This is like if you put Groundhog Day and the movie Outbreak together, and it's like I don't like it. I don't want that. I don't want that crossover.
No, nobody does.
No. Yeah, it's every time I read an article about the governor and the mayor, I just it's nothing that I hope for. And part of me gets very tempted to read articles about, states that are going to open up, like Florida has opened up their beaches. And I think part of me gets very tempted to be like, well, how much longer can we all take this? I want to I want to get a haircut. I want to go to my summer job. I want to go see a show. It's becoming a little difficult at this point, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It just keeps getting worse the more and more people don't listen.
Yeah,
and it's gonna keep getting worse. So people really have to listen and just do their part. And the hoarding. I remember with all the grocery stores and the toilet paper and the paper towels. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the sanitizer. Mm-hmm. As I said, we're all in this together. And there's too many selfish people out there that think on their own level that they're above everybody else for some stupid reason, and they're not. And it just is so infuriating, when people need important stuff like that, they can't find it.
Yeah.
And if they can't find it, they get worried that they're going to get sick. And if they have a low immune system, they do get sick. And I know someone that died from this, and it's not something to be messed with. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't hit close to you until someone either has it or has died from it. And I've had friends that have had it too and have recovered from it, but said it was one of the most excruciating times in their lives. Mm. And it gets more scary. The thought that we're still extending constantly, and we don't know what the answer is, and we don't know what's going to happen. And I think that's like one of the aspects of enjoying a horror movie is you watch it because you don't know what's going to happen, what's going to jump out at you and scare you. And this is like living in a real life horror movie where you don't know what's going to happen, who's going to get killed next, and it's scary.
Yeah. So as someone who still goes to work, and I work at a Walgreens, I kind of turn into a cranky old man at this point when I see a lot of teenagers still hanging out. And at this point, I have to wear a mask so they don't see the face I'm making half the time when I just see them pass by me. Before, it was a lot of, are we being distant, guys? Are we staying 6 feet apart from each other? And they look at me like, the hell do I know? What the hell am I talking about? Yeah. So I agree. It's getting really frustrating to watch other people bite the bullet or take the bait per se.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I know you were writing songs during this time.
Hmm.
You are a music artist. You have an EP, great music, Man About Town. Uh,
Thank you.
Also, fun fact: my other podcast, before we prep for our second season, we would play Man About Town just for some odd reason. I think I just found it. I think our guests were showing up late, and I was like, "Hey guys, look at this song!" And then they're like, "Wow, that's good!" And so we play all the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we were like, huh, Kevin Pollack, what a guy. Anyway, so how has it been easier to write music during the pandemic at first, you think?
Yeah. I mean, a couple weeks ago, I wrote like 5 songs in 4 days. Um, it's one of the great things is ideas are coming to me and melodies come to me, and I have the time now to lay it down and structure a song. Compared to before, where I would never have time because I'm always out. I'm always on the run or at friends' houses or at a party. So now I have more time to write than ever, and I kind of want to be more and more creative as I go. I want to try to do something that I've never done before, like write a musical or something, or something like that, or a play, or something that goes beyond what I'm normally used to, that I think would be fun to do during this time.
Yeah, for sure. So we met during a long time ago. It's been 4 years now when we
Yeah.
did Meet John Doe,
Yep.
which is probably where I got the inspiration of my old man because you did a questionable but pretty good Bernie Sanders impression during the show. And,
Oh yeah.
and I did a really questionable, if not okay, impression of our current president, but I disguised him as the clergyman.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's how we sort of bonded. How do you think you've changed as an artist, and since we met, which is 4 years ago?
Um, that's a good question. I think I've grown as an artist because I became more confident with myself,
Hmm.
and what I can do and accomplish. And I think I've grown as an actor more because I took on more challenging roles after that. And the bigger the challenge, the and the bigger risk that you take, the more rewarding it is in the end because you learn so much from it. And I've gained a lot of experience from the people that I've worked with in those 4 years. Now that that's why I said it's fun to do these Zoom readings and test out your acting skills on roles you might not normally do on a stage.
Yeah.
I just did a reading of The Breakfast Club, and I was the Judd Nelson character, and getting to do that, and like everybody was bringing their A game. It was just so much fun.
Yeah.
And even one of my best friends said to me after, he goes, "Man, I didn't know you could act like that." I mean, so it's kind of like you're getting to test the waters, and because theater is down. There's no auditioning. There's no fun in that. It's not fun for any actor, and the actors that do this full time, I feel terrible for them. That was their only source of income, and now what are they supposed to do?
Yeah. No, I agree. I watched The Breakfast Club on Sunday, and I was like, well, hey, look, there's Kevin. Uh, yeah, fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for my sake, I realized how rusty I became during this when I was doing a lot of these readings, and I realized like, man, I need to step up my game because I'm not in an acting class right now.
Yeah.
So like I'm not getting any notes. I'm just sort of just trying things out on a whim and getting the script on the spot. And because usually when I get a script, I take some time, highlight the lines, and kind of make choices. But this is like, all right, well, let's see what happens. We did a reading of The War of the Worlds last week. You and I and Shane Lee Day. Shout out Tim Vance whenever he gets on this podcast. And I was like, wow, it was fun. I had a great time. But I'm like, man, I really felt the rust, which is something I never felt before doing a show or reading.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, it's something that I want to do more of.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, for sure. So as we are looking ahead to whatever distant future we're gonna see, how fast are you going to be to wanting to go perform again or audition for anything? You think you will do it at the moment, or there might be some trepidation?
Well, one of them I'm kind of required to with the
Oh,
Blues Brothers,
yeah.
so I got to go back whenever I need to go back and just make do with the situation. I mean, I may or may not be pleased, but that's what you got to do when your life is a performer. You go and duty calls, and it's just like being an essential worker, a healthcare worker. You got to do what you got to do. And I really want to perform again.
Hmm.
There's no greater feeling than getting to perform to hundreds of thousands of people,
Hmm.
at each show. And it's so invigorating. It's so exciting. The acting thing, I can wait it out, if need be. I plan on auditioning for something for this winter, but we'll see how our shows with our Blues Brothers band goes and how the dates are moved or whatnot. So it's a lot of juggling in between. But I'd love to get back to it. I miss it so much.
Yeah, and I haven't seen you act since I probably Meet John Doe. So yeah, I can't wait to see you back on the stage.
Yeah.
So Kevin, I can't imagine another person I want to talk to right now during a pandemic. So thank you for coming on the show. I'll see you in a
Of course,
couple
man.
hours because
Yeah.
we're gonna do a reading of the Lone Ranger tonight.
That we are.
Yeah, so of course, if you need anything, let me know and I will drop it off 6 feet away from you.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. You take it easy.
You too, man.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey everyone, thanks again for listening to this episode of You Have a Minute, a daily isolated podcast. My thanks to Kevin Pollack for coming on the show and allowing me to talk to him for a couple minutes. It was a lot of fun. Kevin, as you heard, he's an actor, songwriter, singer, and a blues brother. Who knew? And then probably one of the most talented people I ever met. They are doing their own thing and they are having fun while doing it. So, and yeah, I'm going to see him at the time of this recording. I'm going to see him in about an hour and a half. We're going to do a reading of the Lone Ranger. So it should be fun. As always, wash your hands, wear a mask. Let's flatten this curve. Let's really flatten this curve. Let's take this seriously. And I know, hopefully, we will get through this. No, hell, we will get through this. Thank you again, and I will talk to you later.